class, today you're in Algebra 2 class. We'll develop an understanding of solving multiplication, division, subtraction, and addition of fractions, whole numbers, and decimals. In addition, we will develop an understanding of quantitative reasoning. We're preparing for the TSIA. How can I tell right now if I mastered the concept or not? I'll demonstrate my newly acquired skills by performing proficiently on my daily exit ticket as well as my weekly assessment. So my agenda for the day, we just did our introduction. We're getting ready to start on our comprehensive skills, or in other words, our basic skills for the day, which will include multiplication and division of fractions and whole numbers. We're going to write in the journals while we're doing this, and in addition, we're going to apply what we've learned today to word problems, followed by an exit ticket before we leave.
Okay.
Students, we're going to start off with a simple problem. What does the word product mean?
It means multiply.
All right, the word product means multiply, and I'm saying it because all of you don't know that. What are other words that you would use for multiply? You use multiplication. Okay, a lot of times they use the word by. By usually means multiplication.
Mm-hmm.
So how do we multiply fractions together?
But isn't fraction division?
It can be depending upon the operation offered. Let's look at our anchor chart that we copied. It's in your journal.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, it's journal time. Look at anchor chart 2. We covered the other day, remember, prior lesson learned how to multiply and divide fractions. Okay, let's look at our anchor chart. Let's look right here at 3/8. 2/3 times 1/6. What are the operations when we multiply fractions? And you can use your calculators if you want to. 2 times 1 is 2. We multiply straight across. 3 times 6 is 18. And then we make sure that we can reduce at the end. How can we determine if we reduce? Well, we know that if numbers end in an even number, we can reduce by 2. Right? We know that if you could add 2 digits together and it ends up in a product of 3, I can reduce by 3. If a number ends in 0 or 5, I can reduce by 5. Right? 7s you have to try out, 11s you have to try out, but usually with the first 5 prime numbers, I can reduce a fraction. So let's go back to our exercise and okay. So once again, after the reteach, right? 2/3 times what? 4/5. So 2/3 times 4/5. Remember what we did on our anchor chart? We multiply straight across and we multiply in fractions, right? 2 times 4 is, what's 2 times 4, Pam?
8.
8, very good, very good. And then 3 times 5 is?
15.
15, very well, very good. Can I reduce 8 over 15? How can we tell? We use the what?
Primes.
The prime. So, are both of these numbers even?
No.
No, so that means I can't reduce it by 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
1 plus 5 is 6. Can 3 go into 6? Yes, it can. So I can reduce 15, but can 3 go into 8?
No.
So I can't reduce this by 3. I can't reduce it by 5 because 5 can't go into 8 evenly. So guess what? Since there's not going to be any other numbers that go into this is the farthest that I can reduce it. Do I have any questions? Oh, we're good.
We're good. Thank
Let's
you.
try another one. Let's try another one. Let's try another one. This one is a little different. Look at the next one. What operation am I getting ready to do today?
Divide.
Divide. Do anybody have trouble with division of fractions? Let's look at our anchor chart. All right. So, how do we divide fractions? We divide fractions, copy, change, flip. In other words, we copy the first fraction, we change the sign to what? Multiplication. And we flip the what? Second fraction. Then we treat it as a what? Multiplication fraction, and we multiply straight across. So let's go back and finish our one. 3/4 divided by 1/2. Copy, change the sign, change, and flip. Now we multiply straight across as if it was multiplication. 3 times 2 is 6 over 4. I can reduce this by 2, correct?
Yes.
That's 3/2, and we're done. Any questions or any clarification that we may need? Thank you. Let's go ahead and get started with our lesson for the day. Down our first word problem.
Okay.
I want everyone in class, look at number one, right? We setting up ratios and proportions, and since we did a warm-up with fractions, right, we're gonna go ahead and set up ratios and proportions because we've been warming up and we've been familiar with working with fractions and mixed numbers. So let's look at the first problem. All right. John bought a camera on sale, normally costs $160. If the price was reduced by 20% during the sale, what was the sale price of the camera? Right? So what are we gonna find out?
What's the sale price?
There you go. Let's go to our anchor charts.
Okay.
Part over whole. This is how you set a ratio up. So this is strategy one for how we solve word problems. Remember, we're solving word problems for the TSIA. So, why part over whole? Anytime I have a percent, percent means 100, right? So I'm gonna put that number over 100 equals, and then I have to determine what other value is, if it's the part of the value or if it's the whole of the value. So let's go back to the setup. Let's set it up. Is this a percentage problem or is this a unit problem?
Percentage.
Percentage. 20 over what? 100.
100.
Right? 160. Is that the whole amount of money or is that part of the money?
That's the whole amount.
So, part over whole. We're going to put the whole at the bottom.
That's a regular price.
There you go. Now, the question asked what? What was the what? What was the sales price?
Sale price.
Right? So we're going to cross what now since we're dealing with fractions? We're going to cross what?
Cross multiply.
So 20 times 160 is what? 3,200. And 100 times x is what? 100x. We're solving equations now. Right? I want to get x by itself. Right? So
Yeah.
what do I do to get x by itself? I'm going to divide both sides by what?
100.
100. Very well. So, I reduce by 100. How much money did they take off the original price of the camera?
$32.
$32. Are we done with the problem yet?
No, because
No,
32 is not there.
That's right. So if 32 was here and you picked 32, you'd be wrong. You have to answer the question, right? So $160 was the total amount.
And they took
What's
off.
the sale price now? What operation do we do for the sale price?
Subtract.
Subtract. So 160 minus 32 is 100 and what? $28. So that's the new sales price of the camera.